City volunteers head to La Reunión de Santa Ana, Ecuador to conduct disaster relief assessments. VR technology simulates highly realistic 3D imaging, helping in difficult medical situations. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Lori Chen. Thank you for joining us. After learning about the severe flooding in La Reunión de Santa Ana, Ecuador, city volunteers headed over to the affected areas to conduct disaster relief assessments. A future aid distribution is in the works.
Heavy rainstorms on February 19th caused severe flooding in La Reunión de Santa Ana, Ecuador. It was estimated that 300 households were affected. Since most of the affected residents are impoverished households, this disaster has worsened many people's living conditions.
And the flood took away my 50 chickens, and it took away my shoes, my wash tubs.
Ricardina used to make a living by raising chickens, but now all of them have been washed away in the floods. In addition, her son suffers from cancer and has been bedridden for a long time.
I have to move him and he's heavy. I bathe him and do everything for him.
Having nothing left now, this family even has problems with eating a proper meal. Upon learning about their situation, the volunteers brought warmth to them. In addition to prepare for an upcoming aid distribution, volunteers also seized the time to understand the needs and conditions of each of the affected households.
Staying in a heavily flood-affected town in Ecuador, city volunteers have gone door to door to conduct post-disaster home visits. They have patiently listened to each of the affected residents' most urgent needs and will continue to provide follow-up assistance. Let's meet two of these brave individuals.
The situation was hard because imagine it taking everything little by little. Everything was soaked, everything was a disaster. Everything kept getting lost one by one until we were finally able to get out. Both my son and my wife went outside into the streets, and of course it was painful to clean everything, all of the sweeping and picking things up. Fortunately, my son was able to help me with the work outside. My wife was inside the house cleaning up on the inside as well. Yeah, inside the house the kitchen was damaged. The fridge, the sound system, the mattresses, everything that was in my workshop was damaged. A drill, a polishing machine, almost all of my tools that I use for my work were badly damaged.
Lastimosamente, como ustedes saben, muchas personas, el invierno nos sorprendió este año.
Unfortunately, as you all know, the winter weather surprised us this year, and it went by and I couldn't work. I don't know what to do now. How do I go back to work? It mostly affected my mattress, so I now have no place to sleep on. The washing machine and the TV were also damaged. In here, where the water levels got a bit higher, almost 1 meter high, were my clothes and shoes. In addition, I had 1 or 2 big bags of corn seeds. I don't know the exact amount, but it was around 2 bags full. The bags were washed away. And what I'm most worried about now is what I owe for those seeds. I have nothing to pay back with. I lost the corn seeds, so how am I going to pay it back now? I have debt that I still owe. These are all things one must pay for. You have to pay back what you borrowed.
Y lo que estoy preocupada es por lo que
Turning our cameras to Cambodia, on the last day of the 3-day city-free clinic in Tak Keo province, more than 3,342 residents have been seen. Although the local hospital environment wasn't the most ideal, city volunteers overcame all the obstacles, providing high-quality medical care to the locals.
The muddy ground is full of stones of different sizes, and simple tents have been set up temporarily at the free clinic. Medical professionals from 7 different countries serve at 6 different divisions. On my right are traditional Chinese medicine and internal medicine. As for inside the building, it is the operating room and OBGYN division. As we follow our camera, here are ophthalmology and dentistry. At the dentistry department, there are volunteers from 6 different countries, including Malaysia, Singapore, Cambodia, Taiwan, Vietnam, and the United States. 16 experienced dentists are working with 13 dental assistants. In addition, 16 clinic chairs have been placed in the room. At 8 in the morning, the clinic was filled with many residents, and the medical volunteers have worked nonstop to treat them. The TCM division is located outdoors with tents serving as roofs and tarps as walls. The volunteers come from Singapore, Malaysia, and Taiwan. 17 experienced TCM doctors are working with nearly 20 youth volunteer translators. In this difficult environment, 2 folding beds have been put together to use as a temporary hospital bed. This building was donated to the local government by the Japanese after the building was completed 3 years ago. This area is under surveillance as all shoes should be taken off outside of the red line because the room has been thoroughly sterilized. This room serves as the surgical ward at the free clinic. Over 2 days, 163 patients have received help, and most of them have tumors removed. When we walk into the operating room, we see there are 5 operating beds which have pads for medical use on top. But when our camera zooms in, we found that they are actually folding beds. The most important thing in the operating room is lighting equipment. The wires overhead were temporarily pulled in from the outside. 4 powerful LED lights have also been installed. To ensure the temperature is not too hot, 2 air conditioners have been temporarily installed.
The team at Tea in Cambodia have relieved many of the medical issues of the local impoverished residents. For the locals, it was like a long-awaited gift, since normally they would have no means to seek medical treatments themselves. The medical team also conducted medical home visits for those who couldn't physically make it to the free clinic.
Kanchana rushes to the free clinic with worry, as her son has a fever. Seeing the baby come to the clinic without wearing clothing, the doctor tells the mother to put the clothes on her son.
He should wear clothes. There is wind, so he should wear clothes.
Since her son has a fever, Kanchana thought she should keep him naked to cool down his body. After seeking help at the clinic, she realized it is not so and also remembered what the doctor reminded her.
I want to thank for this free clinic. I don't know how to express my appreciation.
Many people come to the Tzu Chi free clinics for their medical problems. This 12-year-old boy has suffered from skin problems for years and hopes for a cure.
My grandson began to have this skin problem when he was 7. Previously, TYDA treated him for 2 years for free. I hope this free clinic can cure his problem.
Small surgeries were also provided in the free clinic. The boy lying in the bed had tumors around his navel, so the doctor spent 1 hour helping him solve the problem.
This illness is not commonly seen. It was probably due to an infection from poking the navel. He has been treated elsewhere before with the surgery, but it didn't help, so I operated on him thoroughly to cure the problem.
The medical team also visits patients at their homes. This 74-year-old woman injured her hip bone joint, so she has been staying in her home for years. To her surprise, the doctor came to visit her on this day.
I've heard about the free clinic and wanted to go, but I'm not able to go there on my own. I didn't expect to see the doctor coming to my home, so I'm pretty moved.
She said that if she can go out, she'd help people, and we try to allow her to move more freely so she can fulfill her wish.
The medical team's visit brings love to underprivileged villages in Cambodia, and also the hope for a healthy lifestyle.
Staying on the topic of the team and medical team, many medical professionals were mobilized to serve in the dentistry department of the free clinic. Although the doctors came from different countries, they exchanged various know-hows and learned from one another through serving the patients. Let's meet these selfless doctors.
Suffering from a toothache for more than a week, this man sits patiently in the dental chair because he wants to solve his dental problem.
They spent a long time extracting my tooth, but I trusted the skills of the doctors. They were very compassionate. They provided free services, so I'm very thankful to them.
Doctors work non-stop to treat the patients. This woman had 3 of her decayed teeth extracted at once.
Without this free clinic, my teeth will hurt all the time. I hope you can come more often to treat our health problems. No matter how long it is, I will wait until you come next time.
It is hot in the country, so it is inevitable that people here drink a lot of sugary drinks. This leads to a lot of tooth decay, so I feel like I almost cannot finish treating their dental problems.
This time at Tzu Chi's large-scale free clinic in Cambodia, many people sought medical help from dentistry departments. Therefore, the number of medical professionals was large, with the local organization T.Da Cambodia and many young doctors joining to help.
This time, 15 TYDA doctors have come, including dental students and some medical practitioners. We We have learned from each other. Since the root of Cambodians' teeth is particularly long, it's not easy to extract their teeth. Thankfully, we have several young Cambodian dentists who have lots of experience in this.
By exchanging experiences, doctors from different countries have also found their initial aspiration for becoming a doctor.
Visiting the free clinic, the patients do not need to pay, so they cherish everything we have done to them. This will make them happier.
It is not easy for them to solve health problems. Unlike us, most of them live in remote areas. Therefore, we usually try our best to alleviate their pain.
Doctors from different countries overcame language barriers and used their expertise to alleviate the pain of patients. The seed of love has also been planted in the heart of the people in Cambodia.
Today we're starting a brand new series called VR, a good helper for the physician. With the rapid advancement in technology, medicine has also benefited from this phenomenon. Not only is VR used for playing video games, but it can also simulate highly realistic 3D imaging to help in challenging surgical operations. Let's check out an in-depth report.
This is the part of your spine, the lumbar vertebrae. You feel sore and uncomfortable because the place is being compressed, especially the narrow position in the fourth and fifth area, causing the outside of your calf and even the instep to feel sore and painful.
Listening carefully to the doctor's explanation about his condition is Mr. Zhong, who is in his 20s. He has disc herniation, which compresses nerves. He went to Tri-Service General Hospital for neurosurgery treatment.
From these images or from the model, it's hard to understand what the doctor is saying because I'm not a medical professional. In fact, I think it looks like a unicorn.
Mr. Zhong's problem is something many people encounter as attending physicians are now turning to science and technology in their consultation.
OK， 那颈椎的神经尤其的繁密。
Wearing VR, Mr. Zhong is like playing with human puzzles. Every bone, complex blood vessels, and muscles from the brain, cervical vertebrae, and spine to the pelvis looks realistic.
那我们再穿进去到里面去。
Using the VR image is like entering the diagram, allowing the patient to see every angle.
Now we have this 3D imaging which allows patients and their families to learn more about what is going on in their body. They can also learn more about how the medical team can help them. I think this really helps communication between the doctor and patient.
然后你可以走进去，穿过那个脑袋。
This is the first virtual reality clinic in Asia specializing in surgery. For patients, they have the chance to go beyond the oral prognosis of physicians and see it at a glance through virtual reality. However, application of this VR technology is not for everyone.
Basically, if patients are too old or if they have vertigo, they may not be suited to this. And some people don't understand this, as the group that is more suitable are younger people. This type of experience really is helpful to understanding their diagnosis.
通常都是加分的。
The most prominent use of VR technology is helping surgeons locate where patients are experiencing trouble. In 2012, Dr. Tang returned from the United States to promote VR medical technology in Taiwan. It didn't go smoothly at first, as he was challenged by senior doctors about how video game technology could be used in medical treatment. The following year, in 2013, Tri-Service General Hospital introduced a 3D stereoscopic imaging system for minimally invasive surgery. Wearing a VR display unit allows for MR, or mixed reality visualization, which combines virtual scenes and reality. The doctor can switch between multiple screens as well as 3D vision for the surgery. Just like the navigation system on a car, this is like the surgeon's GPS, helping him achieve the right surgical position and how thick the bone screws need to be.
In
the past, if there is good communication on both sides and we receive approval and proceed to the surgery, the whole process may take 1 to 2 years to achieve.
In addition to spinal surgery, more difficult brain surgery can also be performed. For more than 6 years, a team of neurosurgeons at Tri-Service General Hospital has successfully completed 180 cases.
We have to test it, but I think the results have all been very positive. And the reason to go forward in spine surgery is the navigation ability, which has been good. Also, we see some good results in brain surgery.
Medical technology is changing with each passing day, and the traditional medicine is being subverted. At present, there are biomedical companies using VR and MR applications to develop glasses for doctors to use. When doctors do surgery, it does not interfere with their normal line of sight, and they aren't staring at a computer screen.
It's basically a navigation system. For example, green represents a safe area as identified by the computer. This is a safe entry point and this point. And now when we see red, this is the precise area of surgery.
This medical innovation was all developed in Taiwan. In the case of spinal surgery, it can be quite important as the spine is very close to the aorta and central nervous system. Errors can have unimaginable consequences. The use of smart medical glasses not only reduces the risk of surgery, but also reduces the exposure of X-rays or computerized tomography before surgery and can shorten operation time.
We can analyze and use our data. By using our equipment, our surgery can be completed in just 10 minutes. If we don't use our equipment, it could take between 20 minutes to 30 minutes to complete this surgery.
However, this medical technology cannot be used for surgical navigation and positioning of soft tissue. If the alignment is not totally accurate during surgery, it is necessary to return to traditional surgical methods. Even so, the combination of technology and medicine has revolutionized surgery, with many more breakthroughs to come.
For the 2018 Taichung World Flora Exposition, Tzu Chi has set up the Humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion ever since it started in November of last year. The venue will continue to be open all the way till the end of April of this year. Over the last couple of months, many people have already visited the pavilion, which has done a wonderful job in educating the public on various environmental protection concepts.
To learn hand-eye coordination, they can use these tools made from pudding boxes. Plastic bottle caps are being recycled for another use.
都是用瓶盖来制作出来的哦，像书夹啦、笔记本夹啦，还有我们的公文袋啦，这些全部都是我们春天的，不是很多的小草小花吗？啊，这要直接种上去，它又有美观，然后又会隔热。
The goal of the Ecotech Pavilion is to let visitors think, what can we do for our next generation?
In the past, there wasn't any technology in terms of environmental protection, but now we have ways to create a better living environment for people to live in.
I was watching the water exhibition, and indeed we'll lack water in the future.
After visiting the Ecotech Pavilion, these visitors want to tell everyone how they truly feel.
I was rather ignorant in the past. I paid my water bills, so why should I conserve water?
We should not drink from cans because it will cause enormous pollution.
Some of the pollution came from our behaviors, in which they're harming the earth. In fact, we should save these resources because we don't realize that we're wasting them.
From sorting the recyclables, we can raise our awareness over protecting the planet. As we put our minds and efforts into actions, good improvements will accumulate in time.
Staying at a Humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion, visitors come from various countries and all walks of life. Recently, a tourist from China and a graduate student from Thailand paid a visit. Not only are they more aware of their everyday actions on the environment, but they now know various ways of how to be an active Earth protector.
For our future generations to be prosperous, we need to take care of the earth.
Coming from Thailand, Selawan Nawat, who studies at an MBA school in Taiwan, has learned about the scarcity of water. It not only makes him think about how to cherish water, but also inspires him to share such knowledge with his friends.
After going back, I will tell my friends and their parents not to waste resources because water is limited.
Wen, who is a tourist from Guangxi, China, heard about a humanitarian ecotech pavilion. Therefore, she came here to visit on her last day in Taiwan.
They will give you guided tours and provide explanations. Therefore, I'm not simply taking a look by myself.
The visitors listen to the docents mindfully.
I have paid attention to how these recycled plastics can be made into clothing, shoes, and bags. However, I did not know how it is done. This time, I witnessed the entire process.
Regardless of how much the visitors learn, the most important thing is for them to take actions to protect the environment.
To end the Lunar New Year holiday period on a bang, Tzu Chi volunteers held a celebratory event for the public of the Northern District. It was filled with endless festive vibes. Let's join them there.
Former National Zhonghua University musical professor Song Mao-shen teaches the chorus of Tzu Chi commissioners every week. He has kept his promise for 30 years to bring beautiful melodies to every corner of the event.
Frankly, most of the commissioners are very busy working for Tzu Chi. Most of them didn't receive a proper musical education. Those songs they learned in school have been forgotten, so I taught them the basics, including how to breathe, how to sing, and read musical notes.
Volunteers present their diverse talents at the Northern District Lunar New Year event. However, there were many challenges when planning the program.
We've encountered many problems during the planning. Some sisters weren't available on the day of the performance, and some suddenly can't make it. And we also changed the program right before the event, so we've only confirmed the program just 3 days before the show today.
Life at the nursing home is plain, so I feel very cheerful and happy coming here today and seeing the talents of these Tzu Chi volunteers.
The cheerful and festive performance brought out Tzu Chi's humanistic culture. Volunteers have achieved a joyful and creative Lunar New Year event.
A 73-year-old care recipient and his wife in Batu Pahat, Malaysia, has been regularly cared for by the local Tzu Chi volunteers for over 12 years now. Unfortunately, 5 years ago, his wife passed away, making him now a solitary senior. Since the couple never had any children, volunteers especially took the time to visit their grandpa, giving him the feeling of a family's warmth. Thank you for watching. See you next time.